I've always assumed that the cartel's interest was in creating sort of dependency, addiction, and you have a market that you continue to supply because there's a demand. I understand that that's changed. Part of what has resulted in your one pill can kill project to educate the American public. So it's really no longer in the interests of the cartels per se to make sure that people stay alive so they can continue to feed that addiction. The model's changed pretty dramatically. I wondered if you could just to help the American public understand what we're dealing with right now and sort of the new mode of operation, if you could just walk through that, and then why the one pill can kill campaign is so important to that.
So you've just asked the question that I think we get asked more than any other, including when we go to schools. Wherever we are, people always ask the same question. Why would a drug dealer kill their customer? And it's sort of the right way to think about it in the older model of drug trafficking. When I was coming up in the Manhattan DA's office, we strongly believed that drug traffickers did not kill their clients. And in part, it was based on some relationship. Even relationship is a strange thing to say, but drug traffickers knew their clients knew who to go to purchase drugs from. We now live in a largely digital world where more than 200 million Americans are on social media. And the cartels can operate largely anonymously without ever knowing their client, and the clients don't know their traffickers. And so this has completely changed what we see. We're also in a world where, again, the cartels are actively trying to deceive people. They are not selling fentanyl as fentanyl. They're selling it as fake pills that look identical to real oxycodone, to real Xanax, to real Adderall, or they're hiding it in other drugs that they sell as though it were cocaine when it's actually cocaine laced with fentanyl. And so this whole model has changed. And we think about this a lot as cartels want to sell more drugs. Fentanyl is the most addictive substance we've ever seen, 50 times more powerful than heroin. So they're using it to get people to come back again and again. And as long as people survive, they believe that they will have more customers. And if they die, to the cartels, that's the cost of doing business. And they're going to go back on social media and they're going to find someone else. And so
it's interesting then, in a sense, you can become addicted. Clearly, one pill can kill, but it may not. So you're building essentially a market of repeat customers, but to the degree they might die, it's just as you said, the cost of doing business because of the addictive nature of this, and because of the deception in their practices. So it's not only that you need to get hooked on this; they don't even care about that. It's if you needed legitimately an opioid for a medical condition, or you're buying it you think you're buying it through a prescription, and you're not. That's really part of the additional danger now to Americans.
So any American, and I always like to emphasize this, anyone who gets a prescription from your doctor and fills it at their pharmacy, you have nothing to worry about. Those painkillers or other drugs are absolutely fine.
Because they're highly regulated.
They're highly regulated. What the cartels have done is buy pill presses from China along with dyes and molds, so they can make a pill that looks identical to an Oxy, identical to a Xanax, identical to an Adderall. They then advertise them for sale, oftentimes on social media, as though they are real Oxy.
So I'm a patient who may be dealing with some knee issue, some issue that requires this prescription. I get the prescription from the doc, but instead of going to my local pharmacy, I go online and think I can get it cheaper this way. Is that essentially how it works then?
What we see a lot is that people are looking for, whether it's an Oxy, an Adderall, a Xanax, some of those people have had prior prescriptions, some have not. Some are young people who are looking for a painkiller for anxiety or some other issue. We should be really clear in saying you cannot buy a legitimate prescription drug on social media at all. That is not for sale. And so anything that any young person finds on social media, we can tell you is going to be most likely fentanyl. And again, that's killing people. And so we want to be really careful. We're also seeing this goes across the United States, all ages.
Yeah.
Please.
So I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm just running out of time. I just want to ask one quick follow-up. Have you been in consultation with the major platforms about advertising those on social media?
So we are pushing social media very hard to do more. I don't think we would get to 107,941 deaths if not for the scale and scope of social media. And again, we are asking them to take a zero tolerance policy, to raise public awareness. There are a host of things we are pushing them to do.